What is up, guys? Today is February 23rd, 2020. Today's a Sunday going on Monday. It's 11:25, and we're going to be going over GU. All right, go ahead, yes, yeah. So, I get what
Let's say
you're
I'm trading
saying.
off the 1 hour zone. 1 hour
Yeah,
trading.
so
Cycle, I mean.
the thing is just that I've seen it happen so many times enough that once that I just know how it reacts during London session. That's just it. Like I just know how GBP pairs react during London. Like I've seen it happen so many times. I just know how they react already. So like for me, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I think price is just at such a good price point that I enter it. Sometimes I'm like, bro, it's not gonna get better than this. Stop being greedy into the trade. In those moments, I enter in a smaller lot because most of the time it does. It just goes the opposite way.
Yeah.
So to me personally, I rather just wait. Wait it out until after 1 a.m. Just wait it out to after the 1. Now, if you choose to enter it because you see a good entry, just do it, bro. There's nothing wrong with drawdown. There's nothing wrong with drawdown at all. I just want to minimize the drawdown. That's all I'm trying to do. Because if you minimize drawdown, you're maximizing profit. You get me? If your drawdown
Yeah.
went from 30 pips to now 15 pips, that extra 15 pips now is profit. So that's my point. So it's just like I've learned already just to wait till after 1. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I just want to enter trades, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I do just enter trades, but I'm willing to hold it a little bit more, knowing what I know. And then once it gets to a higher time frame, I'll enter at a higher lot.
So
You
you
know?
personally wait until the closure of a 4 hour candle, not a 1
Yeah.
hour candle.
After 1 a.m. Because after the 1 a.m. candle, I know what it wants to do. I've seen this happen so many times. I've seen the 9 p.m. candle close extremely bullish, and then the 1 a.m. candle close a complete bearish reversal. And then it just shoots down.
What does bearish reversal mean again? It means that it's going to turn the market bearish, right?
Exactly. So like I've seen candles look like this. This is exactly what I'm saying. Look at this shit. This is exactly what I mean. When you see this, you don't think this is going to happen. If you're
Yeah.
just reading candlesticks. So I've seen it enough times to know that that's not how really price moves. So since that's not how it moves, I'd rather just wait, honestly.
Yeah, I've seen even like waiting until like after like the second half of the 4 hour, waiting until like after like 2 or 3 a.m. because from 2 to 3, it'll do that drawdown, and then once it hits like 3:30, 4 o'clock is when the actual move will happen.
You're right. You're 100% right. That's why I always, yeah. No, you're right. That's why I always wait. That's why I just always wait. It's just better to wait. The moves doesn't really happen until like 2 or 3 a.m.
Like
Really 3 a.m.
3:30. Yeah, like three to four.
Exactly. Yes, sir. You have any other question?
I'm sorry, brother. I have a
No,
lot of
don't.
them now, but for now, I'm pretty good, bro. I
No, don't
just
apologize.
whenever something pops up, bro, I just gotta ask, because
No,
me
it's
personally,
better.
bro, like I find myself every time I trade, unless it's like one of your signals, but if I'm trading on my own, bro, I find myself like doubting myself a lot, bro, and I find
Because
myself going.
you're not taking your own trades. That's part of it. Understand, bro, this is all about confidence. Trading is just confidence game. That's literally all it is. I'm not doing anything special. Like the same shit I tell you guys is the same thing I do. Like, look, let me break down GU. Let me break down GU so you can understand. Very simple. We start off the higher time frame daily. Where are we? Are we high or low? We're high. All right. Where's the next zone that price needs to come down towards? Right here. All right. If we just measure pip to pip, this range is
Like 80 pips.
140 pips. Okay, that's what it is. 140 pips. So if we're at a high point, what does that mean? I'm looking for sells. So now I want confirmations to give me my sells. All right, confirmations. The last daily candle had a larger upper wick than lower wick. Price came up to fill that upper wick first, so now price needs to push down. Think about it like this. Price came up. This is just a continuation. So think it's like this: push, retracement, push. Okay. Besides that, we have a trend line. We see that you can do it from wick to wick, or if you want to make it precise, you do it wick to body. And look what price is doing, riding right on it. So think about it like this: it's on a level of resistance, number one. And the second confirmation, it's on a high point. Third confirmation is on a supply and demand zone. Fourth confirmation is a lower high. Fifth confirmation is a trend line. Sixth confirmation, it's forming. What type of pattern is that?
Double bottom.
No. What type of pattern is this?
Head and shoulders?
No.
Where?
Oh,
No,
reverse?
it's the-
I don't know. I can't see it. Oh,
Can
a
you see the
descending
screen?
triangle.
Yeah, the triangle.
It's a descending triangle. Pattern. The trade is trading within the pattern. It's a descending triangle. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. Besides that, red finally crossed over blue. Orange crossed over red. Price is setting up to tank towards the downside. We see it. Every confirmation you want is there, and that's just off that time frame. Understanding this too off the weekly time frame. Again, what do I always say? When you see a wick, what do we want to do? We want price to
Fill in the wick.
exactly. So understanding that this candle needs
Yeah.
to be filled, we can use that as a sell confirmation.
Okay.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
I have,
powerful.
I have a question about that. If you go back to the daily, how you were saying it already filled in the previous wick. I don't see it that it filled in that wick though. There's still space above that candle.
Yes, you're right. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You get me?
So sometimes it does fill the wick, sometimes it doesn't. The way I look at it is just that don't think that price just skipped all this, like it didn't necessarily skip it. It just how can I explain it? It's not that it filled the wick, it's just that it came up first.
Okay.
Like ideally would be for it to fill the entire wick, that would be great. That's why I say GCAD right now is like freaking delicious, because look where it's
Yeah.
at. It's in
Yeah,
the
I
wick.
understood that one. Yeah.
But in this case, it's not the same case, but that doesn't mean we're not going to enter the trade just because it's not there. Like, imagine if you had that same ideology with here, you would miss out an entire move. So you can't be completely anal about it, So it just depends, But in this case, depending on how it closes, for example, let's say it closes like this, right? Let's say it closes like that. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a spike, maybe up to here, the highest, or maybe up to here, to then continue selling towards the downside. That's
You don't
what
think
I'm
a spike up higher?
Maybe it could go higher. I don't know, but
yeah.
maybe it could. Maybe even go past here. It can go like this.
Is it possible?
It can go like this.
Is it possible for the next candle to try to fill that wick, or is it always like only the next candle fills that wick or tries to fill that wick?
No, not the next one. Another, like it can consolidate here and then spike, and then come down. It doesn't have to be the next candle. It can be 3-4 candles after it.
You were also saying you don't enter the last 15 minutes of an hour candle?
I don't like to, no.
Okay.
Because no, bro, like if you're gonna enter a trade, again, you can. Like I don't want to be so anal about it, because then you're not gonna enter trades never, I don't want to be like that either, but I've seen it happen enough times that if I'm entering the trade, it's gonna be at the top of the hour, top of any
The
hour.
first 30 minutes?
Yeah, for sure. Or maybe not the first 30 minutes, but let's say 233, 234, 235.
Okay.
The top of like every 30-minute or hour increment. I wouldn't enter on the back end of any hour, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's usually when drawbacks happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't enter on the back end of it. It's just to maximize it. Understand this, and maybe you guys get this. If you understand how to do this, and if you're able to understand the bigger picture of how to trade, and you can just get over catching 30, 40 pips, get a big account, and you can literally scalp your way into heaven. Literally dropping 10 lots, 10, 15 pips. That's what all these traders are doing.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
That's all they're doing. They're just dropping 10 standards, catching 10 pips, and that's it. You know, I only know a few guys that can actually catch a full move. And I like trading like this because it's just more comfortable, you know? Now, sometimes, and the thing is that once you learn this, then you can scalp because it's the same thing. Like, it's just the same premise. Same exact thing. If I see price come down here, what am I looking to do?
Bye.
Exactly. Exactly. So you have two options. You can either buy exactly when price reaches that supply and demand zone, or you wait for a candle to then give you a signal. But the likelihood is that it's going to reject something. You know, it's just very simple. Same thing. If we understand this trend line, if price comes up and hits this trend line, we're looking to then sell. You know, nothing complicated about it. We're just, honestly, nothing complicated about it. Excuse me. We're just looking to then sell. And that's pretty much it. But GU's definite sells too. Like, just confirmations, we already know. GU sells. So GCAD sells. Bing. GU sells. GCAD is super clean to me. GU, super clean to me too. Let's look at GJ. GJ's always been my favorite. Probably always will be one of my favorites. You see, so GJ's have a little, you see, GJ's just funny. So if we go to the monthly time frame, I know price is going to come up here. How do I know that? Because price already filled the previous month lowest point. So it's forming kind of like a pin bar, you see? But understand, before anything, price is going to come up here. I get that. Like, overall, it's still long, is what I'm trying to say. But what I see now is, where's price at? At a high or low?
High.
Yeah, it's at a high. And regardless, we see that price is still ranging. Like, we could see that. So price is at a high point. Now, I do my fibs. If measuring for a buy, low to then high. It's at an extreme high before anything else. Okay? The next zone that price could possibly come towards is 1433. So about 100 pips away from where it's currently at. You know, you can do that in blue. You can do that in red. That's where it's at. So now I see this. Excuse me. So now I see this. So this might get a little people, depending. You see, this is kind of like a harder trade to really understand because like price is rejecting a lot. You know, we see
We've
that
been
price
seeing
rejecting that low.
we've been seeing GJ like, and you've been literally all of that it's doing right now. You called out on the last couple of zooms that we did.
Yeah, everything. But this is
What
what I
GJ
see
has
from GJ.
done, you've called out over the past couple of zooms that we've done, which is pretty crazy, bro.
This is really what I want to see. And then just a continuation. Maybe not that low, but I do want to see this impulse. I want to see a sell. I think sells are happening. I see sells happening all day. I see sells happening all day. And then this is when you start like correlating pairs a little bit. If GCAD selling, most likely GU selling. Most likely.
Yeah, I was noticing that.
GJ selling. Most likely GN's going to sell. Most likely GA is going to sell. Why? Because the pound is just strong. You see, this is why I said I like to wait for the candle to close. You see? You see how it's pushing up even though it's already at a low point? It's still pushing up.
Yeah.
See, GCAD, I think it's in like great entry right now, honestly. I think it's beautiful entry, but we're going to wait. But definitely GCAD is there. You know, so GCAD I want sells, GU I want sells. GJ I like sells, but it's not the cleanest. The cleanest is for sure is GCAD and GU. Pretty much GU is probably the cleanest. But GCAD and GU are both the clean trades. So what does that tell me? If they're both clean, that means that those are the ones I'm going to take. Those are the trades I'm going to take. Those are the ones I'm going to take. Excuse me.
How many pairs do you enter in one session? Like two?
I like to enter two, yeah. That's
Okay.
like my go-to. I like to enter two. Simply because if one doesn't work out, the other one typically does.
D,
Okay.
I know sometimes you let like certain trades run.
Yeah.
But then other times, you always talk about how 30 pips a day can change your life, right?
I always
So-
close the trade at 30 pips.
So
Just because they say let it run, that
Yeah.
doesn't mean I don't listen to what I say. No, I close all my trades at 30 pips. Every single one of them.
Okay.
All mine. I don't care. Like,
So your
I will let a
TP
trade
is-
run. So like, let's say I have a standard open, right? Is that I'm never, bro. I'm typically never asleep in an active trade. I'm rarely ever asleep when the trade is actually active. Now if I am, then that's one thing. I'll probably do a TP, but a lot of my trades are manual closes because I'm awake. Pretty much for all of them, you know. So like, let's say GCAT, right? I'll probably enter 2 positions. And one of them I'll do a 30 pip TP, and the next one I won't do a TP.
Okay.
I won't
What
do
about
any TP.
what about your stop loss? Like do you usually make your stop loss like a 20 pip loss stop loss, or do you consider doing something higher than that, depending on how clean
Nah,
your
like
trade setup
maybe
is?
30 pips is the most. Maybe. It just depends on how comfortable I feel with my entry. If I'm really comfortable with my entry, then 20 pips, maybe that, you know? But if I'm not really comfortable with my entry, 30 pips. Because you have to understand, bro, GBP pairs move a lot. Like, they move really fast. So the fact that they move really fast, 20, 30 pips is nothing. You know, like, it can get wicked and then just drop or
Yeah.
skyrocket. So, yeah, GBP pairs, they have higher, like, pip count. So sometimes I'll do it higher, but it just honestly depends. Like, it just depends, bro. It just depends.
Somebody in here had asked about the supply and demand zone. I'm actually pretty curious about that too.
Supply and demand zones, pretty much. They're just areas in the market where market shows complete indecision. Like, the best way I could describe it: start off daily time frame, weekly time frame, and wherever you see a lot of wick rejection is a supply and demand zone. So here we clearly see that price has a lot of wick rejection here. So that is a supply and demand zone. Besides that, we can clearly see that price has trouble breaking this low. That is a supply and demand zone. That's an area of indecision that price has trouble breaking. These are supposed to be red, but you get the gist of it.
Okay.
There are areas in the market where price just literally has, it's another way of calling support resistance. Pretty much it's the same shit as saying support and resistance lines. I just don't like drawing lines. I like drawing supply and demand zones because they're just better and stronger confirmations. You know, because understand that price, the same way that, so if you say support resistance lines, this is what most people think, right? And then if it goes like this, they think you broke it. Excuse me. But if you get people to understand that it's not a line, it's a zone, people can understand how price can go like this and still maintain its structure and then push down. The same way how price can go like this and just go down. But it's all in that zone. It's not 100, it's 95 to 110. You know, it's a zone, it's a range. So that's why I do supply and demand zones, because it's just easier to grasp. It's a big wick area. So wherever you see a lot of wick rejection, you have a good area of price is going to reject. That's why when price did this, you know how many people probably sold up here and caught 30 pips just because they're aware of where price is moving? Just because they're aware where price is moving, they probably caught 30 pips. The same thing. We're aware that price is going to push down here. And if it does, excuse me, and if it does push to this low, we're possibly looking to see some sort of rejection. And we can capitalize off that rejection if you're willing to trade like that. You know, but that move is simple. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this trade so we can see what's going on. So where is that? Price, is it low or high?
Oh, it's on a high.
Well, yeah, right now it's at a high. Yeah, right now it's at a high, but like overall, it's still closer to the low end. You know, like if we were to draw this zone, and then if we were to draw this zone, where's it closer at?
Yeah, on the weekly, it's on a on a low.
Exactly. It's like closer to a low area. So since it's closer to a lower point in the market, what I want to see it do, I want to see this. stop somewhere around there. That's what I want to see. And why? It's just because I understand it. And like, what pattern is that if it does that?
Oh, the triangle, right?
No.
Let me see. Oh, it's an inverted. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I do fibs from here to here, I'm pretty sure that lines right up with, if measuring for a buy, low to high, 62%. That's what I want.
Would you try to catch that sell though, or you'd wait until it
No,
comes
there's no
down and catch the
point.
buy?
Catch the full move. That's a buy. That's what I want. I want to see this drop to then buy hard. Now, maybe it doesn't drop completely, but I do want to see buys. Regardless, I want to see buys happening. Regardless, I want to see buys. Yeah, that's what I want to see. It's just that. Fairly easy, not too complicated. So GCAD, we got sells. GU, we have sells. 0 GBP, we got buys. That's what I'm looking at for tonight. And those, I'll probably enter all three. I'll do a buy limit for Euro GBP at 83500. That'll be my buy limit. GCAD, I'll probably do a sell limit at 71650. GU, I'll probably sell it right when I see a spike. And that's it. And I'll just hold it. 30 pips each, 25 pips each. TP about like, well, I'll probably be awake. But again, once it goes to 30 pips, I automatically close partials to secure profit. You have to understand, there's like nothing wrong with securing profit. Like if you secure profit, now you can drop a bigger lot size. Now your balance goes up and you're not that stressed out because you made money. So secure profit. Grow your bank account, then grow your trading account. So definitely secure profit at all times. That's what I feel. But those are the moves, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm actually going to post it up, but like the site will be up by tomorrow for sure. It'll be up. Yeah, by tomorrow I'll be done. I just have to redo it all. By tomorrow I'll be done. So this recording will be up on the site tomorrow. It'll be up on the site tomorrow. All right.
Thank you, bro.
All right, guys.
All right, bro.
I hope you guys catch those trades.
Yeah, I'll be on those GBP pairs tonight.
Yeah, look at them. Look at them. Just watch them. I'm telling you, I already it's an easy setup. Like that's clear as day. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, cool.
Got
See
it,
you.
brother.
Later, guys.